No, 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 no.
Alright, we need to talk about Nicolas Jackson. Joining Chelsea from Villarreal in 2023, Jackson was seen by many Chelsea fans, including myself, as a second attacking option after Christopher Nkunku, who joined Chelsea around the same time with like 10 days difference. But Nkunku's serious knee injury made Jackson the main striker for a while, and it seems like Nkunku unfortunately never returned to his form, and Jackson still remained the main striker even after Nkunku returned to the squad. Did Jackson do well in that time? I mean, yes and no. He scored 14 goals in 35 games last season and 10 goals so far this season, but he missed quite a lot of games due to injury this season. Those numbers are pretty decent, let's be honest, especially for first couple of seasons in the Premier League for a very young striker who never played the league before. Although fans can't help getting frustrated at the amount of chances Jackson doesn't convert into goals. And then there is Newcastle game, which was a disaster. Enzo Maresca is back at it again with the lineup shakeup, and that after a pretty successful game against Liverpool. Looking at the starting 11, you can't help but notice that Caicedo is not in the center of midfield, but at the right back position, and Enzo got moved down from the attacking center midfield to defensive. Yeah, I agree that in the Liverpool game, Enzo didn't always show the best of football, but he did provide value by scoring an early goal at the very least. And what made midfield so fortress-like was the Caicedo-Lavia partnership. So now, limiting Caicedo to just a wing doesn't make much sense to me. Although you could notice that more and more often coaches use right and left backs in the center and vice versa, center midfielders in the right and left back positions. I don't really think it works that well at Chelsea, like with using Reece James as a center midfielder. But we might not have been discussing that if it wasn't for an early Newcastle goal. Lavia lost that ball. If Caicedo was there, who knows, maybe he might have changed the outcome of that episode. Lots of respect to Lavia for owning up to that mistake. What really made this game a disaster was that Nicolas Jackson did by going to straight up murder Newcastle's centre back. What was the man thinking? It looked really intentional, and after a couple of replays, it became obvious it's going to be a straight red card. There were a couple of glimpses of attacking play, but without a dedicated address to deliver the ball to in the penalty area, it was not very dangerous. But I gotta give it to Chelsea squad. In the second half, they completely took away the ball and were playing control, overtaking the possession stat to their favor in the end. Although lack of a dedicated striker was still obvious. Still, Chelsea created chances, and those substitutions almost worked with James's header. Speaking of James, remember how I was ranting about the center backs and left backs and right backs and such? When do you guys think Chelsea took away the ball? Yep, the moment James went to right back position and Caicedo returned to the center. That deflection really helped Newcastle with the second goal in extra time and really buried Chelsea's hopes to equalize. Well, fellas, I really think Chelsea need a new class striker. Jackson can provide goals, and with him injured previously in the season, you would really start to miss him in the squad, but this game proves it yet again that he is too unstable for a club like Chelsea, and my frustration as a Chelsea fan of many years grows stronger each year Chelsea can't get a striker they need. In many ways, because of Jackson, Chelsea will have a lot harder time to reserve a Champions League spot for the next season, which would really hurt the club if they don't. Enzo Maresca decided to suspend Jackson for the rest of the season, and I really hope Mark Guiu will come back and prove that he's ready. Maybe Nkunku will be able to help the team. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Always appreciate it. Talk soon.